Hi, welcome to Real Driver Cars. This is the second episode of the body kit, and today I'm going to show you how to build a side skirt. When I say build a side skirt, we're going to build a simple mold, finish that off, and then build the side skirt from there. The mold, we're going to start with chipboard, cut it to size, build the mold. Once we've got the mold, then we're going to do the carbon fiber side skirt, such as this one. As you can see, it's made of a sandwich section with glass on the inside, carbon on the exterior. The finish is not important because it's going to be sanded down, filled and painted. And weight, as you can see, pretty good, solid. So here we go, step by step process coming now. Hope you enjoy it. To start this off, first thing to do was to actually measure out the shape of the side skirt I wanted. Once I transferred that onto the chipboard, I then started marking it out with a marker, deciding on the shape I wanted. I'd already taken the height of the side skirt so that it would cover the supports on the underside of the car and just fit underneath the door trim. Once this was done, I then cut out the pieces of wood to the same shape I'd decided, put them all into position, and then made holes in the position of the wood so as to put screws through them afterwards and reinforce the mold. Once I'd done this, a little bit of hot glue to hold the pieces of wood in position. Once this was all positioned, I then could place the other side I'd already cut out and start fitting the screws through the holes I'd made earlier. Once I'd done so, I then put in some little pieces of steel bar as alignment tools for the top. This way, when you put it in, it would align every time and the screws without damaging the chipboard. At this stage, I then decided to put masking tape over all the edges, the join lines, because my worry is the resin will trickle through the holes and then go into the chipboard, damaging the mold and maybe even gluing it together. I've made the shape, as you can see inside, all the shape inside. I've bolted it together, that way I can take it apart because there's some not negative angles, but 90-degree angles. And I put masking tape over all the seams because I'm worried that the resin will get into it and stick to the wood. In the end, these are going to be sanded down and transparent put on them, so it shouldn't be a problem. The masking tape is so thin that when I sand it down, it should be fine. So, time to make this mold, approximately 2 hours. Pretty pleased with it. First thing I did was make some templates of the insides of the mold. Once I had these templates, I cut out the foam board and prepared these for the molds. Once I was finished with the foam board, I then cut out the same shapes out of carbon cloth. I did the same thing with the glass. Once I'd done all the glass, I then prepared the bag for the vacuum. One thing I did overnight was to put PVA release agent over the whole of the mould. This way to be certain that it would release. This you can see in the blue in the mould. First operation was to put resin inside the mould. Evenly spread out a nice layer of resin, and then you're able to start putting down the carbon fibre cloth. First the base, then started doing the sides. Once I had the carbon layer put down, I then started putting in the foam board pieces I'd cut out earlier. The important thing is to remember to put small holes in the foam board so that the resin can go through it, and then also wet out the foam board before you put it into the mould. After the foam board is put in and the last layer of glass, I then put in plastic release film. This blue film you see in the video has holes every inch approximately, and when put under vacuum, pressurizes everything together and allows only a certain amount of resin to seep through. You then put in a breather material, which is the white cottony material you see in the video, which absorbs the excess resin. Once all of this is done, you have to put it back all into the vacuum bag. The moulding released easily, and the next day I was able to trim it down to size, taking a few measurements from the shell and fit it onto the shell in position. You can see me here cutting down the side skirts, and the fitment is pretty good. Thanks for watching the step-by-step video of how to make these side skirts on the Mini. I hope you enjoyed it. It's a bit of a different video to how I usually do them. It's a bit shorter and it's more in depth, and I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment and tell me if you enjoyed it and if you'd like to see more like this, or if you'd prefer longer and less detailed videos. Please subscribe, it really does help. And next video will be fitting these and the rest of the body kit, and hopefully maybe a few other surprises. See you next time. Thanks.